Here's where we're going to talk about the different types of angles that are formed by a transversal intersecting two lines. It says two angles are blank angles if they have corresponding positions. These are called corresponding angles. Because they have corresponding positions. So that one's pretty easy to remember. Notice how 2 is above this line and to the right of the transversals. So it's above and to the right. And in this set down here, 6 is above and to the right of the transversals. T is the transversal here. So they are in corresponding locations. Two angles are blank angles if they lie between the two lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. These are called alternate interior. Because they are on alternating sides of the transversal and they are on the interior of these two lines, meaning like this is the inside of these lines, this inner area here. All of this is inside, and they're on opposite sides of the transversal. Two angles are blank angles if they lie outside the two lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. So what they mean when they say opposite, or outside, outside of the lines will be this area out here. It's not between the lines. And you see how 1 and 8 are on opposite sides there. These are called alternate exteriors. Alternate exterior angles. And then the fourth set here, two angles are blank angles if they lie between the two lines and on the same side of the transversal. And these ones have two names. These are called consecutive interior angles, and they're also called same side interiors. And that name is speaks for itself. They're on the same side and they are on the interior. You may refer to them as either name, whichever you're able to remember, consecutive interior or same side interior angles. Here we're going to practice identifying pairs. So alternate interior angles, we're going to try to find all of them, all of the pairs of alternate interior angles. So let's see. Alternate interior means that they need to be on the inside of the two lines. And the two lines depend on which lines we're talking about here because there's 4 lines here. So if I'm talking about these lines that I'm outlining in pink, then the transversal, it has 2 different pairs. So let's say that I'm just talking about this one for right now with the pink and the teal. Its alternate interior pairs would be 3 and 10 would be one pair, and 4 and 9 would be another pair. So I'm going to list those. 3 and 10, angle 4 and angle 9. If I then go to the other transversal over here with the pink lines, then it has 7 and 14 and 8 and 13 as another set, or another set of pairs. Angle 7 and angle 14, and then I had said angle 8 and angle 13. Now there are even more, and I'm just going to write as many as we can fit here. And there's more because there's just so many transversals and so many pairs of lines that are in this image. So let's now say that I am using this as my pair of lines that I'm talking about in pink, and let's use this transversal up at the top first. So this would have a pair of alternate interiors being 5 and 4, would be one pair, and then 2 would match with 7. So we're going to add those to our list. 5 and 4, and 2 and 7. And then if I was looking on this bottom section, I would even have 10 and 15, and 12 and 13 as a pair of alternate interiors if I use the bottom line. So let's add those to the list. 10 and 15, and I'm running out of room here, 12 and 13. Angle 12 and angle 13. There we go. So lots and lots of sets of alternate interior angles for this picture. Each pair of lines and single transversal is going to have 2 pairs of them. So I probably won't name as many with the others just because there's not much room. All right, so now let's look for alternate exteriors. So depending on which pair of lines again. So let's use these, and the teal transversal we will use first. So for my alternate exteriors, and I'm going to start writing them all the way over here, and I'm going to use a different color. So exterior would be like 1 and 2, 11 and 12 are exteriors. So 2 is going to be an alternate exterior with 11. So angle 2 and angle 11 are alternate exteriors. Angle 1 would be alternate exterior with 12. Then if I go to the other line over on the right here, I'll give it a little green dotting over there. If I'm using that one, 5 would go with 16, and 6 would go with 15, being on outside and opposite sides of that green transversal. So now let's kind of switch this up here. So that was using the top and bottom line as our pair of lines. Now let's use these as our pair of lines, these green lines, and we'll start with this pink dotted line up here and look for alternate exteriors with these. With these alternate exteriors, we could have a pair being angle 1 and angle 8, and we could have a pair being 3 and 6. So I'm going to add those to the list, angle 1 and angle 8, angle 3, and angle 6. And then if I'm using the line set on the bottom of the picture here, I would say 11, we'll go with 14, alternate exteriors, and 9 would go with 16. Just a ton of those. Corresponding has even more than this, so I'm probably going to get to the point where we're not going to name all of them. Just going to sort of pick some to name. So let's go with the pink and the green right now since they're already outlined. And let's name some corresponding. So right now I'm using the pink line as a transversal, and my 2 sets of angles are these at the top left and the top right. If I said angle 1 would correspond with, it is above the pink and to the left of the green. So above the pink and to the left of the green would be angle 5. Angle 2 would correspond with angle 6, above the pink and to the right of the green. Angle 3, which is under the pink and to the left of the green, would correspond with angle 7, and angle 4, which is below the pink and to the right of the green, would go with 8, which is below the pink and to the right of the green. Those are corresponding sets just with this top line. If I'm looking at the bottom line here, 9 would correspond with 13, being above the black line to the left of the green. 10 would correspond with 14. I'm going to quit naming those though, because we're going to run out of, this video is going to be forever long, and we're going to run out of room here. So let's just talk about this left set. So I'm going to get rid of that green line over there and undo what I just did, because I got rid of the whole picture. Well, I won't get rid of that green line then. Let's see. Let's use this line that I'm making blue, and this top line and the bottom line. So let's look at this little the blue pair here that I drew. So corresponding with 1, with that particular pair that I'm looking at, would be angle 9. So in this picture, 1 corresponds to more than just, 1 and 5 correspond, but also 1 and 9 correspond. Angle 2, we had it corresponding with 6. 2 also corresponds with 10. So it depends on how complicated your picture is. All right, let's talk about same side consecutive interior angles here, same side interior angles. If I'm talking about the top line and the bottom line, okay, there we go. If I'm talking about the top line and the bottom line, then the interior would be this region here. All of these are in the interior. So if we're talking about consecutive interiors in this green area, then we would have angle 6 and angle 3. That's what I was looking at. Angle 3 and angle 9 are consecutive interiors. Angle 4 and angle 10. 7 and 13. And 8 and 14. Angle 8 and angle 14. So those are between the top and the bottom line, and they're on the same side of the transversal. Over here, 3 and 9 are on, this blue transversal. 4 and 10 are also along the blue transversal. 7 and 13 are using the green transversal, and 8 and 14 are also using the green transversal. Now we can turn this around and we can be talking about the interior that goes this direction in the teal. And if we're talking about that particular interior with its transversals, then you would have angle, and I'll put it above over here, you'd have angle 2 and angle 5 would be a pair. 4 and 7 would be a pair. 10 and 13. And 12 and 15. And then verticals, so notice each of these pairs, it had one angle from, like this is a set of 4 and this is a set of 4. It would have one from each one. But when you're naming vertical angles, you're going to be naming 2 that's in a group of 4. Like 1 and 4 are vertical. 3 and 2. 5 and 8. 7 and 6. 9 and 12. I'm just going to put dot, dot, dot. There's many more. 10 and 11, 13 and 16, 14 and 15. Those are all vertical angle pairs.